The warning klaxons had been blaring for 3 minutes when Melanie finally located the source of the disturbance in Bay 7. A small craft, no bigger than a shuttle pod, sat smoking in the landing zone. Its hull was a patchwork of burns and structural damage that made her wince. Whoever piloted this thing was either incredibly lucky or incredibly skilled to have made it to New Horizon Station at all. "Control, this is Melanie Chen in Bay 7. I've got an unauthorized landing. Sending you the craft's signature now." Static crackled through her comm. "Copy that, Chen. Station Master Vex wants it removed immediately. It's not on the approved docking manifest." Melanie approached cautiously, her scanner reading exotic energy signatures she'd never encountered in her 15 years as a mechanic. The craft's design was elegant despite the damage, flowing lines that seemed almost organic, with propulsion systems that defied conventional physics. A hatch hissed open, and Melanie's hand instinctively moved to the plasma cutter at her belt. But instead of a threat, a small figure tumbled out onto the deck plating. It was a child. At least Melanie thought it was a child. The being stood perhaps a meter tall, with luminescent skin that shifted between pale blue and violet. 4 delicate arms hung at its sides, and its large, multifaceted eyes glistened with what could only be tears. "Please," the child said in perfect standard, though its voice had a musical quality that no human could replicate. "My ship. I need to get home. My parents—" Melanie knelt down, professional protocol warring with basic compassion. "Hey, it's okay. You're safe now. What's your name?" "I am called Zixthari." The child's lower arms wrapped around itself in what seemed like a self-comforting gesture. "I took my parents' ship without permission. I wanted to see the nebula, but something went wrong with the drive core. I've been drifting for 2 cycles. "Chen!" Station Master Vex's voice boomed across the bay as his massive frame appeared in the doorway. The Krogian's scales bristled with irritation. "Get that unauthorized craft out of my station, now!" "Sir, there's a child here. The ship needs repairs. Not our problem. Regulations are clear. No manifest clearance, no docking privileges." Melanie looked down at Zixthari, whose eyes had widened with fear. The child's skin had gone pale, almost translucent. In that moment, she made a decision that would cost her everything. "Give me 2 hours," she said. "Absolutely not. 2 hours, and I'll have them off the station. I'll work through my break. No overtime charges." Vex's eyes narrowed, calculating. Finally, he grunted. 2 hours. Not a minute more. As soon as the station master left, Melanie was in motion. She'd need help, and there was only one person crazy enough to assist with an off-books repair job. "Parker!" she called through her comm. "Need you in Base 7. Bring your quantum calibrator and don't ask questions." Parker Reeves arrived 8 minutes later, his perpetually messy hair sticking up at odd angles and grease stains on his coveralls. The young engineer took one look at the alien craft and let out a low whistle. "Mel, that's a Celestian vessel. Do you have any idea what—" "I know. Help me or get out." They worked in synchronized silence, the kind that came from years of partnership on the station's most challenging repairs. Parker traced the damage to the drive core while Melanie fabricated replacement components from her limited supplies. The Celestian technology was advanced, decades beyond human engineering, but the fundamental principles were universal. "This modulation frequency is insane," Parker muttered, his hands dancing across holographic displays. "If I can just recalibrate the harmonic resonance—" Zixthari watched them work with fascination, occasionally offering information about the ship's systems in that musical voice. Despite the time pressure, Melanie found herself explaining her process, watching the child's eyes light up with understanding. 1 hour and 47 minutes after they started, the drive core hummed to life with a sound like wind chimes in a breeze. "You did it!" Zixthari's joy was palpable, their skin now glowing a bright, warm gold. "Thank you, humans. Thank you so much." As the small craft lifted off, disappearing into the star field beyond the station, Melanie felt Parker's hand on her shoulder. "Worth it?" he asked quietly. "Yeah," she said. Yeah, it was. The next morning, Melanie found a termination notice on her workstation. Vex had cited gross violation of station protocols and unauthorized use of station resources. Parker had been suspended without pay. 3 days later, Melanie was packing her quarters when the station shuttered. Every screen on New Horizons station flickered to life simultaneously, showing the same impossible sight. 17 Celestian warships, each 1 kilometers long, their hulls glowing with that same luminescent quality as Zixthari's skin. They had arranged themselves in a perfect formation around the station. A communication request came through on all channels. A Celestian appeared on screen, tall, regal, with skin that shifted through every color of the rainbow. The being's 4 arms were decorated with what could only be military honors. "We are the Celestian 7th Fleet," the figure announced. "We seek the humans called Melanie Chen and Parker Reeves." Melanie's heart hammered in her chest as she was escorted to the command deck. Parker arrived moments later, looking equally terrified. The Celestian commander's image filled the main view screen. "3 cycles ago, you repaired a small craft and offered kindness to a lost child. That child was Zixthari, offspring of the Celestian High Council. Not only did you save their life, but you treated them with dignity and taught them the value of compassion across species." The commander's expression softened. "The Celestian Accord has searched for centuries for species worthy of alliance. In one act of kindness, you have demonstrated what we seek. Melanie Chen, Parker Reeves, the Celestian people formally invite humanity to join the Galactic Coalition, and we request that you two serve as the first human ambassadors to our worlds." Melanie looked at Parker, who had tears streaming down his face. Station Master Vex stood frozen, his scales turned a pale gray. "We would be honored," Melanie said, her voice steady despite her shaking hands. As the Celestian ships began transmitting data packages containing technology and knowledge beyond humanity's wildest dreams, Melanie thought about that small, scared child in Bay 7. Sometimes, she realized, the most important decisions weren't made by following protocols. They were made by following your heart, and sometimes the galaxy rewarded you for it.